Want to get rich? Just rob a bank. You'll be rich in no time. But seriously, we want to get rich legally, and multi-bagger stocks are one of the ways. Today, we are going to discuss strategies that can double, triple, or even increase your investment by tenfold. I will be focusing my discussion on multi-bagger stocks. Multi-bagger stocks are stocks that increase in value 2 or more times, and hence the name multi-bagger. Before we begin, let us look at some interesting statistics so that we can have a good feel on how common multi-baggers are. I will show you some research and findings by John Jennings. The chart is by Craig J from S&P. Before I continue, I like to give full credit for their findings. This is a distribution of returns of 20 years from 1999 to 2019 for the S&P 500. The multi-bagger stocks that we are interested in are the ones on the far right of this chart, where you see the end of the long tail. Looking at the chart on hindsight, it doesn't look like there are a lot of super performing stocks out there. It's only like maybe 5 or 6%. But don't worry, do not be discouraged. Let me go through some strategies that can help us stand a better chance to find these stocks. The sky is the limit. How do you decide when to sell the stock for profit? Do you have a target sell price? Do you sell the stock when it rises 30%? Do you sell it after it rises 50%? There are many investors out there who would lock in profit when their profit hits a certain percentage gain. The problem is that if you do this, straight away, you are guaranteed never to get any multi-baggers. If you have a 30% target price, and when your stock goes up 30%, you already triggered a sell. You never gave it any chance to go to 100, 200, or even 300%. Instead, I would suggest never to limit your upside, never to set any target sell price, because if you do, you are limiting your profit. Why would you want to do that? In investing, you only want to limit your losses, not your profit. Profits should be left to run as much as possible. Losses should be kept as low as possible. Remember, take care of your downside and your upside will take care of itself. Diversity. You heard how many times I stress the importance of diversification. Diversification will protect your portfolio from losing money to the point that it puts you out of the game. If you have only one company in your investment portfolio, and if that company fails, you will lose all your investment. If you have 20 companies in the portfolio, if one of those companies fails, you will only lose 5% of your portfolio. To get multi-baggers, this strategy applies as well. You need to buy a good diversified basket of companies. When you only have one stock in your portfolio, you only have one chance to get a multi-bagger. When you have like around 20 stocks in your portfolio, you have 20 chances of getting a multi-bagger. So you see, diversification not only decreases your risk, but also at the same time, it increases your chances of getting a multi-bagger. The best part of all is that diversification is absolutely free. Your broker is not going to charge you more for holding many different stocks from many different industries. The IRS is not going to tax you more for holding too many stocks. So take advantage of this right away. Durable competitive advantage. Durable competitive advantage is one of the most important characteristics of a multi-bagger stocks. It is the ability of a company to stay ahead of the competition. This gives businesses more pricing power and a larger market share than their competitors. When looking for competitive advantage, ask yourself the following questions. Is the company offering a unique product that cannot be copied? Does the company have a recognizable brand? Because a strong brand means people trust the brand and are willing to pay a premium for the products or services. Is the company a monopoly or part of a duopoly? Does the business have high barrier of entry? What about its patents, licenses, and partnerships? Do they defend the company from competitors? These serve to protect the company from competitors. When the company is operating in a blue ocean free of competitors, it's so much easier to grow revenue and profit. And it's so much easier to ultimately emerge as a multi-bagger. Scalability. Let's get this straight. Most people get confused between scaling and growing. Although both are good for the business, they are not the same. Growing is when you need to put in more resources like manpower and investment to support the increase in business activities. Take for example, a construction company that currently has 5 projects and they are about to take on another 5 more projects. Increasing the number of projects will indeed bring in more revenue, but chances are it won't be able to get the work done without hiring more people. Because of this, financial growth can only be achieved when they commit to higher expenses. Scaling, on the other hand, is much better. Scaling is when revenue increases without a substantial increase in resources. Processes that scale are those that can be done without extra effort. For example, if I send an email to 10 people or 1 million people, my effort is pretty much the same, which is why companies use email marketing so heavily, because it scales so effectively. While adding customers and revenue exponentially, costs should only increase incrementally. A great example of a company that successfully figured out how to scale is Google, which in recent years has been adding more customers while being able to keep costs at a minimum. The company has turned out to be one of the most successful in the world. Media coverage. You often see the news talk about crazy growing companies like Google, Facebook, and Tesla. Your eyes will naturally be drawn to them. Does the news help your investing decision at all? The truth is, these news are always given to you on hindsight. These news networks are reporting things that have already happened in the past, and when they release the report, the prices shoot up like crazy due to the media coverage. When it shoots up, it's already too late. That is the reason why, if you are serious about looking for multi-baggers, news and media coverage about the latest sexy hot stock should be ignored. The trick to finding multi-baggers is to look at under-researched areas. Look at companies under the radar without much media coverage. Without media coverage, these companies are usually undervalued, and that's when it's best to buy into. Once the media catches hold of them, the stock price will explode and your chances of winning a multi-bagger is high. When the price explodes, that's when you sell it to the market, cash out, and use those funds for the next potential multi-bagger. Agree or disagree with my videos? Subscribe, leave a like, and comment down below, and I'll see you in the next video.